We all know power creep is real, and we've talked about it. But in this video, I have 2 runs that I think I can bring power creep to life. So that's what we're going to do. But first, if you want to bring Raid to life and start a new account, you can get Karato, the legendary lockdown nuker, as well as Tagoar, an epic who can help keep your team alive if you just follow 4 steps. Step 1, log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Step 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Step 3, launch a raid and complete the tutorial. And step 4, go to your inbox and claim Karato. It is a great way to start raid. All right, what am I talking about when I mean power creep? Power creep just in this game, every month new champs come out in this game. We have empowerment, fusions that you get champs from, blessings, relics, all kinds of stuff that make the stats better, the champs better. Mythicals came out, right? Just so many ways this game's advanced. What I was thinking is, I was just looking at Sacred Order as an example in Faction Wars, and I just think it brings the power creep to light. If I just go to stage 21 and I say, all right, what could I do? This is my main account, so I really haven't done much with this faction since it came out. This is the team I run today. I mean, obviously, if you look down at the bottom here, which I'm sitting in the way of, you can see sitting in there, I have, I do have champs in here that I just don't have built. I mean, I've got the 2, mates there from Christmas. I've got He-Man I could put in there. Alice could go in there. You've got Arrow, who's also a nuker. So I could add some nukers in here. I just haven't built those champs. So this team just does the job. But what I wanted to show you is if I just go back to the team that I beat the faction with. Hold on one sec. So if I go back to the team that I beat the faction with, it was Cardiel, Mistress of Hymns, Astralon, Shemael, and Mordecai. Now, what I can't undo is when I built this faction, it was in May of 2022. Yeah, Shemael and Mordecai and Mistress of Hymns all weren't +4 because +4 didn't exist back then. We didn't have empowerment. And Cardiel's been re-geared since, so he would be a lot stronger in this team, but he's not wearing his gloves right now, so I think that does take a little bit out of what Cardiel would have been. He would have been in immunity back then. He's not now, so that's not the same. Astralon, I think, is in the, I think Astralon's in the same build that he was in when I beat the faction, and Shemael might actually be in the same build, and Mr. Hymns in the same build. So some of these champs were actually the same builds back when I beat the faction in 2022. So I just kind of want to show you, if I just hit auto on a run with a Void Legendary, a Legendary who has an AoE stun, a +4 Shemael, and a +4 Mordecai. Let's see how this team does. And then I'm going to compare this when we're done here. I'm going to go do a run on the free-to-play, and let's see what that faction looks like. So I don't expect these guys to, I didn't set up a preset. I probably did that when I beat the faction, but I don't know that I did. I probably did a manual back then when I first beat it. But this team, just while I'm talking about it, Cardiel's a Void Legendary, and he is really good. He's fantastic. He can put the whole team on Revive on Death and block debuffs. He can protect the Revive on Death. He does an ally attack where he puts increased attack and increased crit rate on everybody, so he can do damage. Astralon can AoE stun with his AoE, and if he kills somebody with his A2, he can revive a champ. So I've got a built-in reviver in Astralon. Shemael does a massive single target hit, and he strips spheres. In this team, he's just there to single target damage. And Mistress of Hymns, she's actually underrated as far as an epic in that she can actually be pretty useful. And in this faction, she does a revive. She can also hit pretty hard, actually, funny enough, but I didn't build her for that. She's in a regen set just to keep her alive on this team. But you can see they're trucking along. We're still a minute and a half in with, as I said, a Legendary, a Void Legendary. Would be nice if Shemael targeted the boss on his own, and actually Mordecai does the HP burn, but Mordecai's underrated for this as well if we didn't have all the champs we have available today, because he does a lot of turn meter manipulation, and that could be discounted. He does the HP burn, but his turn meter manipulation is actually pretty powerful. All right, I think what we need to do is, well, actually, I'll just let him run on full auto. I like to click the boss if I'm paying attention here, because sure is nice when they don't just keep taking ads that can be revived, right? So you can see these guys are working comfortably, especially when Astralon AoEs the side ads. So this is my main account. It's 2 minutes, 11 seconds, and it's with the Void, Lego, and Cardio. Now let me show you, no presets, just throw them in, no team settings, and they just ran. But these champs in this, you're talking a protection set, Cardiel. He's only got 5 pieces because the gloves, I guess the weapon's missing, not the gloves. But he's in there at 220 speed. He does have 65% crit rate. He's got 271 crit damage without a weapon, and still 5,200 attack. So he's hitting. You know, he's doing some damage in there. I wish I had paid attention to the end screen to show you damage, but, and then Astralon is in broken sets, but he has 5,200 attack. He's crit capped. He's got 169% crit damage. He's got enough accuracy to land his abilities. The +4 Shamael is in double cruel, so he's ignoring defense. He's got 7,000 attack, 100 crit capped, 227 crit damage, and that's probably all that matters for him. I don't need his accuracy. And then I guess, hold on, include Master Vault. If I take Mistress of Hymns, she's in a regen set. She's got 158 speed. She's actually got crit cap. Look at that, Mistress of Hymns, my nuker. And that's probably all that really matters. I'm not using her accuracy and resistance. She's in regen just to keep her alive. And then we had Mordecai, perception, accuracy. He's been built for hard Doom Tower Frost King, I think. So you'll see he's got 526 accuracy. Don't need that for this boss, obviously. 211 speed, and he's got some good HP and defense, so he's tanky for an epic. So they're all 60s except for Mistress of Hymns was a 50. So that's what that team looks like. That's on my main account. Still took us over 2 minutes to get it to about 2:15, I think I said, to get it done. Now let's compare that to what the free-to-play can do. I'll be right. All right, we're on the free-to-play. Let's just hit start and let these guys do full auto and see how this team does for comparison to what I just showed you on the main. We got Wixwill to protect. We got Fenax in there to be my damage dealer. He's pretty much a single target, but he does have his AoE in this setting that does do some damage, I guess. And then you've got Santa Claus, Sir Nick, along with Lady Noelle, and you've got Mordecai in here as well. Free-to-play Mordecai, so this isn't the same build as my main, obviously. But and then Noelle can do some freeze and crowd control, as you can see. Look at all the buffs on this team. And I'll show you the stats and builds on this one. Please stick around for the stats and builds, because that's the most impactful piece of this video. You'll see what I mean by power creep. That's when I think power creep comes to life, because these guys are just rolling through this comfortably. We're not even getting touched. We got all those buffs on all these champs. We are rolling along. Wave's not a problem. Ooh, block debuffs is actually a nice move. We'll freeze them. Don't have the unkillable though. But Fenax doing his job one at a time. I do love Fenax on this account, by the way, especially since everybody's got Wukong and Arena. I just keep putting Fenax in there. Keep going to live Arena. They keep using Wukong, and nobody bans Fenax. He takes one turn and they're dead. Let me come back after this wave, just because I think these unkillables could take a little longer. I don't want to waste your time. So just coming back a second just to show you this, man. We are just sitting here with buffs galore. We're never out of here much without an unkillable. The boss can't even seem to tickle us. And Fenax just goes in there, and every time he gets a turn, the boss gets weaker. 4 minutes, so it's not fast, but not even touched. Sir Nick, 24,000, Noelle, 16,000, Mordecai, Fenax is the man, and Wixwill did great. So the reason I said you should really stick around for this point in the video is, let's go look at these champs and how they're built relative to what I had on my main. And that team just blew through 21 without a concern. So Wixwill is my clan boss champ, so he's in reflex. He does have 43,000 HP, 4,700 defense, respectable, 200 speed, and that's pretty much it. Enough accuracy to land his abilities here, which is important. Fenax is my nuker on here. He's sitting here with some cruel. He does have enough accuracy to land his abilities. 200 speed, 5,300 attack, and only 153% crit damage. So that's my nuker. That's not much of a nuker, right? And then Mordecai, on this account you haven't seen. So 42,000, 2,000 defense, 209 speed, and enough accuracy to land his abilities. So no relics on any of these guys. And then I guess the grand finale, there's my Lady Noelle. 6-star ascended, so she gets her abilities. She is booked, which does make a difference. She has no relic, no masteries, and no gear. She's in there completely naked. And Sir Nick, 5-star, unascended, completely naked, no masteries, no books, no relic. The dude is literally level 50 is about all I can say for him. So he's not right out of the shard or right out of the portal, but he's level 50. He's just naked. He's got nothing. I just took 2 naked champs in. Oops, not him. I just took 2 naked champs in and 3-starred stage 21 in 4 minutes. The only nuker being Fenax, with 153% crit damage. If that doesn't bring power creep to life, the first account does it in 2 minutes and 14 seconds with a Void Lego, a Legendary, and 3+4 epics. And this account does it in 4 minutes, 2 naked champs, and 1 nuker with 150% crit damage. I think that's crazy. So what does that teach me? Tell me about the game. I think it shows you just how much easier it is to get Lydia these days than it was back in 2020, 2019 through 2022. The challenge and the grind is just not the same. Sure, you can be somebody who just hasn't had luck pulling champs, or Plarium loves to keep giving us Sacred Order champs in fusions and free champs, or barbarians or high elves. So there's neglected factions in the free champs they give out, unfortunately. So if you're in one of those factions can be very difficult today still. But they definitely make the overall faction war easier by all the champs and all the changes and blessings and empowerments that have come out versus the past. So it does also show you the value of fusions and getting champs that you can get them. Lady Noelle being a fusion, Sir Nick being a path, and I do actually have blessings, I think, for him too sitting somewhere. I just haven't bothered to enhance him. I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't. I think those two are in a pass, so maybe I didn't get their blessings. But point is, the getting the free champs that this game offers, it can just make content like this a lot easier. So it also shows me hard faction wars. Why do they need to come out with hard faction wars? As they power creep their own game, and the thrill of going through faction wars starts getting lessened by people who can blow through, like Sacred Order for me. Sacred Order just wasn't an event. I just threw these guys in, 3-star 21, and went, well, that's easy. So there's no challenge there. There's no excitement. So I think hard faction wars will now actually provide that challenge to people who are starting now or starting, a year ago that had a lot of these champs that can blow through certain factions. Some of the normal ones they've neglected will still be hard and have challenge, but overall, between hard and normal, you'll get enough challenge to make faction wars the excitement that it was. I think that's kind of important now. And then not just the free champs, but certainly, if you look at these kind of champs here, but the Armands, the Mythicals, Marius, Mithrala, Eric's even, that's one of those free logins that didn't exist back in the day. Those were added champs to the cycle. Man, you just throw those champs in a lot of these factions, you can just see how many factions can be made easy. So that's what I wanted to do. I'll call it there. I just thought this video would bring to life, just by showing you 2 different faction runs on 2 different accounts and 2 different builds, just how much easier it has been on my free-to-play compared to what the main was, and thought it was illustrative. So hey, if you like that, if it was helpful, love it if you liked the video, love it if you could subscribe to the channel. I'm definitely trying to build, and hey, I appreciate you if you made it this far. Appreciate you watching. Thanks.